Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to JoyNews Today, live from our studio here in Koko Mlemle, Accra. We're live on DSTV channel 421 and GoTV channel 125 around the world on myjoyonline.com. Now, coming up in this bulletin, thousands sit for basic education certificate examination today. We are live at some centers across the nation to gauge the mood there. Also, this afternoon, we ask whether the Office of Attorney General was aware of the Cecilia Scandal missing cash case when it was at the juvenile court, as document cited by JoyNews reveal there was no amount specified as stolen. Now, also, amidst raging confusion in Niger, options of a possible evacuation linger. We will speak to some analysts on thoughts of this decision. We also have business, sports, and showbiz all in this package. Stay with us for details. Now, the basic education certificate examination has begun. We understand that the first paper has already ended. Now, we also understand that a total of 600,714 candidates, comprising 300,323 males and 300,391 females from 18,993 basic schools, are participating in this examination. The number of candidates that registered for this year's BECE is 8.8% higher than the 2022 entry figure of 552,276. Now, let's take you around the nation and understand or gauge the mood of how the exams is across the regions. Let's take you to the Ashanti region first. Or rather, let's take you to the Bono East region, where Anas Sabit is joining us via Zoom now to bring us up to speed on what exactly is happening. Anas, grateful for you to join us here. What can you report for us as in how the exams has been since morning?
I've been monitoring the exercise across the Kishman municipality. I also know that across the region we have some 19,322 candidates writing, out of which 9,596 are boys and 9,726 girls. We have 76 centers across the 11 Bono East districts, and we narrow it down to the Kishman municipality, where we have some 14 centers with a total of 5,125 candidates within the municipality. We are told also that the number has increased by some 600 candidates compared to the figure that registered or participated in the exercise last year. And this, according to municipal authorities, particularly the Municipal Education Director, Mr. John Amisa, is an improvement of how we have more candidates within the municipality participating in the exercise. So far, we have not recorded any unfortunate incidents. All the candidates, most of the candidates from the centers we have visited are participating in the exams. I only know of one center where we are told some 2 absentees, all being boys, didn't participate in the exams, and then one nursing mother was also, in the hall after the time we visited the center. So largely the exercise has been success or smooth so far. We are yet to record any unfortunate incidents within the municipality and the region at large.
All right. In terms of attendance, you're saying that there are some absentees. Region-wise, do we know the absentees?
When it starts, it is after the first paper that the examiners or the supervisors will be able to take account of those who have absented themselves. So as at the time we monitored the first paper, that is the one we just wrote, we are yet to record the regional total or the municipal total. I'm sure by the close of today, we should be able to, feed our viewers and listeners the numbers that have absented themselves so far as this particular exam is concerned. The attendance has been massive compared to the same period last year.
Okay, all right, Anas. So keep monitoring for us so that we can come to you on any update that comes today. But just before I let you go, are you aware whether the regional minister has begun any tours of these centers?
Yes, the regional minister has been touring the Kintampon North and South, districts where we are told together with the regional director of education, we are monitoring the party, especially in the rural areas within the two districts. So that is being done in the Kishima municipality where I am currently, monitoring the affairs. Also, the member of parliament for the Kishima South constituency, Martin Agreements Akosa, has also done same. He has also distributed some mathematical sets to all candidates within the municipality. Over 5,000 of them have all been given the mathematical tests to help motivate them, as well as help them write the exam with ease. So that is what we can report of us at now, Bay.
All right, Anas, I'm grateful to you for joining us here. So that's Anas Sabet joining us from Tertiary. Let's move to other stories now. Documents cited by JoyNews reveal the Cecilia missing cash scandal was initially filed at a juvenile court, despite a list of missing items captured in the documents and the alleged theft of an unspecified amount of money. The suspect was only charged with unlawful entry. This latest information adds to the unending confusing fact surrounding the alleged stealing of huge sums of money from the residence of the former sanitation minister. Joseph Akable reports.
Attorney General's opinion on the docket revealed the case was reported in June 2023, despite the alleged theft taking place in October 2022. He noted that despite claims of a police complaint and arrest of one of the suspects in October 2022, there was no information at the Tesano police station supporting this arrest, complaint, or any investigations. JoyNews has, however, cited court documents filed at the Juvenile and Family Court in Accra on 1st December 2022. Prosecutors curiously charged the domestic staff, who was then aged 17, with the offense of unlawful entry and being on the premises for unlawful purposes. This begs the question why this crucial information is lost in the Attorney General's opinion, which analyzes the docket and concludes no evidence of a report or investigation by the Tesano police was available on record. This is because the latest information shows that not only did the police investigate the matter, but they actually filed charges in court. The question was put to Deputy Attorney General Alfred Tuayebua.
The docket that was submitted to us had nothing about a case pending in any juvenile. The only hint we had in that docket was that a report was made to the police at Tesano. And so in terms of a prosecution going on in the juvenile court or in the circuit court, we are not aware.
Let's now listen to lawyer Albert Jeffy of Tertiary Legal Services, who spoke to my colleague Benes Abubedu Lanza on News Desk earlier.
Rests with the Attorney General. No other institution in Ghana has the power to prosecute criminal cases other than the Attorney General. And when it comes to matters like this, especially those which raise a lot of public concern, the Attorney General is mindful of the evidence that it is supposed to submit before the court. And note that the Attorney General is not an investigative body. It is only a prosecutorial body. The investigation is to be done by the police. So in loose sense, the police supply the Attorney General with the information for prosecution. So if the police feel that the Attorney General feel that the information supplied to them is not adequate, I don't see anything wrong with the AG calling the Attorney General to conduct further investigations to aid it in prosecution. It is a usual thing that happens in criminal prosecutions, and this is not a rarity. I agree perfectly with the Attorney General. There is something in law we call double jeopardy. Now, double jeopardy simply means that a person cannot be prosecuted for the same offense more than once, and other offenses that you could have conveniently been charged under the first prosecution. So, for instance, if you place someone before the juvenile court and you try the person for, let's say, unlawful entry, and the person is either convicted or acquitted, you cannot bring other offenses that you could have conveniently charged the person in a different charge sheet. So if you presented the people before the juvenile court, I think that information was very critical that you let the Attorney General know that these people are standing trial before the juvenile court, so that the Attorney General would discontinue that prosecution and recharge them for all the offenses before the new court now. But so far, there are 2 cases pending against the same persons in 2 different courts. And if one of them should end, the other one cannot be tried. And I think that information should have been brought to them. And once the AG has highlighted that, the police should just take it in good faith and learn from it. Prosecution is technical. And when you have technical person drawing your attention to some lapses in it, I think that should be accepted in good faith.
Other stories now, and the Ghanaian embassy in Niger is exploring the possibility of evacuating Ghanaian citizens as President Akufo-Addo and his West African counterparts leaders are set to make a final decision on deploying soldiers to restore constitutional order in Niger. A meeting will be held today between leadership of the Ghanaian community and officials of Ghana's embassy in Niamey to explore the possibility of an evacuation exercise. Colonel Festus Abwaje is a retired military officer and has drafted a report on scenarios of ECOWAS's intervention in Niger. He has been sharing some insight with JoyNews.
Participate in different ways. Direct participation in the intervention is one option. Providing some logistical intelligence sharing and so on is another option. Or advocating for what I was told by your producer, the due fiasem. In other words, we adopt a more cautious approach and we emphasize more of diplomacy, of dialogue, of mediation and negotiation, rather than just going in with guns blazing to resolve a political constitutional crisis in a country with the use of force. It comes with a lot of risk. And I think Ghana needs to sit down and appraise the situation vis-a-vis the decision of ECOWAS and determine whether its participation directly in the military intervention is in the national interest of this country. We want secure borders. We want trade to go on. Not long ago, we heard that about $40 million or so onions are traded between Niamey and here. That trade will just disappear. The traders will be out of business. Those who need the onions will not be able to have the onions and so on. It will have a lot of other collateral consequences or impact on restaurants and so on. So it's not just a very simple matter that we're going to go in. Given our location geographically, our proximity to Niger, even though we cannot go directly to Niger, and we can't go through Burkina because Burkina will not allow us to have safe passage, we need to go through Benin. And Benin itself has suggested any country that takes part in the intervention could pay a price.
Right. Colonel, I appreciate your time here this morning. Colonel Festus Abwaje.
As you're watching JoyNews Today, let's take you back to our first story on the basic education certificate examination, which has started. My colleague Jacqueline Nansuma-Yeboah has been to some centers across the capital, Accra, and she's been speaking to some students. Let's listen to them.
So you have some students here who are willing to share their experience with us. Kindly join me here. Can you tell us your name?
Please, my name is Jude Apia Boateng.
All right, Jude. How was the first paper? How was it like?
Oh, Auntie, please, it was fine.
It was fine.
Yes, please.
Difficult, easy?
I won't say difficult. It was just fine. I was able to do it, so yeah, it was fine.
Okay, so what aggregate are you expecting to get in this?
I won't pose any aggregates yet. I'll just be calm and wait for what I got.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much. Okay, so I have the other person. So who is joining me? Kindly join me here. Okay, so tell us your name.
Please, my name is Obed.
Obed. Now, Obed, how was the paper? Your first paper?
Please, it was a bit difficult, but I would say it is 90% easy because all what my teachers taught me, I saw it on the paper. and I was able to write it well.
All right, so it was just a little bit difficult. All right, so the next person should just join me here. Okay. Oh yeah, sure. Okay, so how was the paper for you?
It is okay.
It was okay. It wasn't difficult.
Nah.
All right, so you're expecting to pass out with flying colors?
Yes.
All right, we wish you all the best. Okay, so ladies, I want some here. Some should join me here. All right, so how was the first paper?
Very good.
Very good.
Yeah.
No issues with it?
No issues.
Okay, what about you?
Oh, very good, but a bit difficult.
A bit difficult. What happened? Yeah.
It's very tricky unless you read it. If you are not smart, you can't understand it and write it. So
Answer the question. So that
I didn't hear you well.
So you have to take your time to answer the question.
When you rush, you fail.
When you rush, you fail. Okay, any other person? How was the paper for you?
Somehow tricky, but also it's cool.
Okay, so how well are you guys preparing for the next paper? Your next paper is in the afternoon.
100%. 100% prepared.
100% prepared.
Yes.
All right, so I wish you all the best. Okay, so we are still here. Sure, definitely. So we are still here at the Kanda cluster of schools. I'm still with the students, and they are sharing their views. So most definitely they will write the second paper in the afternoon. I'm still interacting with the student right at the Kanda cluster of schools.
Now, joining us via Zoom now for a chat on the latest from the examination is Head Public Affairs at WAEC, Mr. John Kapi. Grateful to you, sir, for joining us here. What has been the report you are gathering from the various centers across the country?
Thank you very much. So far, our reports indicate that things are okay. But of course, as usual, we have a few miscreants who are causing trouble at some of the centers, and they've been apprehended.
Okay. Do we know the number of these miscreants and what exactly they were doing?
Okay, so for now, we have about 4 people, some trying to convey some foreign material to the candidates in the examination hall. There was one person who was found with a tablet that had the questions and answers, and she claimed that they were meant for a candidate who was writing. There are 2 others who are taking snapshots and were busy trying to solve the questions and then send it back to the candidates.
Mm. And these questions were the questions that came out in the paper today?
Yes, they were.
Really? So do we then anticipate a leak?
No, that's not a leakage. What these were people apprehended in the middle of the paper. So they probably went into examination halls, took snapshots of the question papers, and then sent them out to be solved and sent back to the candidates.
Oh, okay. Okay. Which regions or region is this?
So we are talking about Ashanti region, Central, and Greater Accra regions.
Can you give us a breakdown of how many people in each of these regions?
Well, in the Central region, we have 2. Ashanti, we have 1. Greater Accra, we have 1. So far, this is the information we've gathered.
Okay.
But there may be more.
Okay. Okay. So what's going to happen to these people?
Well, as our rules indicate, we are handing them over to the law enforcement agencies and they will process for court.
Interesting. We also understand a new examination will be administered in 2024 following the introduction of the new curriculum in 2019. What are the details?
So far, we do not have any directive from the Ministry of Education. You know, BECE is a national exam. We conduct the exam on behalf of the government of Ghana. And so if, for example, by the close of this year, the government says that for next year, this is an exam that you are going to conduct on our behalf, why not? That's what we are going to do. But for now, there's nothing official that indicates that we are going to conduct any examination different from the BECE.
All right, interesting. Grateful to you for joining us, sir. So that is the Public Relations Director at WAEC. Now to the Upper West now. And an alleged fugitive and pedophile has been arrested in WA, expected to be at the WA Circuit Court today. Rashid Anata, a popular marriage MC, alleged to have slept with 14 underaged girls in WA. He went into hiding in Burkina Faso, but has been apprehended. Our Upper West Regional Correspondent, Rafiq Salam, is in court for us and joins us on phone now. Rafiq, What are the details now? What has been happening in court?
The detail now is that Rashid Ahmed Anata, 35-year-old, he's a local MC, according to the facts of the case. And he committed the alleged act between 2021 and 2023. And then also his victims, the ages ranges between 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, the oldest among them being 15 years of age. And then according to the facts of the case, that these alleged sexual assaults took place in his house, and also some in the bush, and also in some cases he allowed the victim to lean towards his motorbike. So in all, there are 12 girls that 12 underage girls that is alleged to have sexually assaulted. And so the case was in court today, and he's been remanded into prison custody to appear next Monday. But what also transpired at the court also was that the principal state attorney prayed to the court that at least he should be remanded into custody because the atmosphere outside the courtroom was charged, and also because of his own safety that he should be behind bars until the case ends. And so the judge, in the person of Jonathan Abuga, accepted the plea of the principal state attorney and then gave him out to Monday to appear in court. And so it's a case of public interest, and several people came to the court. Like they came in groups, and then if you see the thousands of the hundreds of people that were at the Sacred Court, you know that it's a case of public interest. But you know, let me also tell you that this is not the first time that the alleged pedophile was arrested. In 2014, I did report about a similar incident where he was accused of sleeping with 19 girls in 2014, but that one didn't go anywhere. But this one, the prosecutors are telling us that they have some few loose ends to tie, and then after that, once they get to the court, because the court also accepted that this is the case that is of public interest, and then they will try it every day that it will be in court. And so it's a case of public interest, and many people were at the court, and then he was remanded into police custody to appear on Monday, August 17th.
So if it's every day, does it start from when he reappears in court, and then every day from then his case will be tried?
Yes, because the principal state attorney pleaded to the judge that because it's a case of public interest, they should do it swiftly. They should have a quick trial of the case because it's a summary trial. And so beginning next Monday, because we are told that by Wednesday they'll give the accused person all the available documents, so they will look for a lawyer, and on Monday the trial begins. So beginning next week, Monday, every day, each day, the case will be at the Sacred Court.
All right, Rafik, grateful to you for bringing us this information. To other stories now, and the NDC minority in Parliament are warning it could take more than 21 years for all the Agenda 111 hospitals to be completed if the current funding arrangement is maintained. Each of the district hospital is estimated to cost 17.5 million cedis, according to Deputy Ranking Member on the Health Committee and MP for NABDAM, Dr. Mark Ket Nawane. Government is simply not committed to the project given its lackadaisical attitude.
Government initiated the Agenda 111 initiative to address infrastructure deficiencies in the health sector and contribute to the improvement of health outcomes in the country by ensuring increased access to quality health services. And he also quoted an amount of 189.34 million being the amount that has been spent so far on the Agenda 111. If we recall, about 2 years ago when the government started this Agenda 111, initially they promised to finish in a year, then 1.5 years, and now we don't know when they are going to finish. And with this allocation, it means that out of the 100 million that was initially allocated to it, they've added only 89.34 million in the past year. And if you know the estimated cost of each of the projects, and that is 17.5 million Ghana cedis per one. That is according to the 2018 budgets, or 2020 budgets, or 2021 budgets. According to 2021 budget, each should cost about 17.5 million. And you total the estimate for 101, then we are talking about 1.9 billion Ghana cedis. And with this level of allocation, it means that we're going to take 21 years to complete the Agenda 1.1 projects. And so that is not good enough.
Dr. Nawane is worried a future NDC government will be saddled with the responsibility of completing such uncompleted project with no funding available.
If you come to Nabdam, my own district, where I hail from, recently the chief and people protested against the level of work that has been done over there. It is also at the foundation level. Just the footings have been laid, no filling has been done, and the contractor, I understand, was changed, but it is still the same thing. No work has been done in Nabdam.
Now, as the second clinic of the Echobank JoyNews Habitat Fair concludes with excitement at the West Hills Mall, vendors are already looking forward to additional 3 new fairs in Tema, Takoradi, and Kumasi. According to the general manager in charge of sales and customer service at Multimedia Group Limited, David Max Fuga, these new fairs in the 3 cities will provide vendors and patrons with additional opportunities to expand their customer base ahead of the main event in November. Carlos Kaloni has more from the fair's final day.
Is it land you want? Is it property you want? Or you want security doors? Or maybe you need some insurance for your home? All that put together is what we have here at the JoyNews Echobank Habitat Fair happening here at the West Hills Mall. Now we have a number of exhibitors who are promising mouth-watering packages from Syntex tank to Echobank to elegant homes and to security cameras and all that. And so I will be speaking with some of the exhibitors here to find out from them what product they have and how that can benefit their prospective customers.
We are offering free video intercom and free GSM alarm to our patrons who walk in and purchase any of our CCTV packages.
And then we'll do the second one in Takoradi. And then we'll come back in November for the grand one. So we are changing it this year based on the success of the 2 clinics we've had so far. So, and then we'll give it that national appeal. This year we are going to go to the Western region to make sure that we cover the Golden Triangle, Accra, Kumasi, Takoradi. We are going to be in Kumasi in October, and then we'll come back to Accra for the grand one in November.
Reacting to these, vendors and patrons believe the decision is in the right direction.
It will be interesting. I think this will be our first time in Tema and Takoradi. Tema is developing very fast, so that is the place to be. So we look forward to Tema. I'm really excited to go to Tema. And Takoradi, oh, I can't wait to be in Takoradi.
Well, I can't wait to be in Takoradi as well. Another exciting episode of Joy Prime's culinary contest, Big Chef Tertiary, shown on Sunday, saw the 18 contenders back in the kitchen, battling it out to win the Indomie Challenge and the Star School of the Day title. This episode came with a twist as each team had to battle for the meal they were to prepare. The 18 contestants were tasked to whip up an ungalicious meal in 30 minutes, each team spending that time. At the end of the episode, when all of the representations had ended, the judges were so thrilled with Whole Technical University's ungalicious meal that they named them the Star School of the Day. Here is what you missed.
Big Chef Tertiary. I need one contestant from each school to come and ballot for what you are going to cook today. Open what you have. You have exactly 5 minutes to go to the food pantry to pick your ingredients. So remember, what do I say? If you waste my ingredients, waste your man.
Indomie egg sauce.
Yes, please.
Please don't confuse yourself.
Yes. Do you know something? Yes, sir. Stop giving excuses. Am I clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Should I sleep on it?
No, chef.
So what is he doing on top? This is no skills.
Infused kelewele to
kelewele.
Yes. Okay.
It's not. It is not. Serving as a sauce.
Yes.
I think with what I've seen on their plate,
they beg you.
It's not appealing. Did you cook your broccoli? Your cauliflower, sorry.
It was partially cooked. We're out of time, chef.
I'm not convinced this can be a star meal. So I have the singular honor of announcing the Indomitious meal of the day, and the chef like no other. It's none other than Tertiary.
That's Esther JoyNews Today. We'll take a quick break. When we return, we'll bring you business. Stay with us. Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to the business segment on JoyNews Today with me, Pius Kojobaka. The Bank of Ghana has vowed to strictly enforce the zero financing of government, as any breach could affect the country's program with the International Monetary Fund. The central bank at the beginning of this year commenced the policy as part of the IMF program. However, based on the liquidity challenges facing the government, there are fears that the central bank could go back to this program. But Director of Research, Dr. Philip Abredu-Otu, says this will not happen.
If we go against that zero financing, it will have implications for the IMF program implementation, and that might create all sorts of problems for us regarding the triggering of other flows associated with the completion of each IMF review. We would have missed that critical target. It will become big news. It could flip into other things as we move along. For the first 7 months of the year, we've respected that zero financing.
And there hasn't even been 1,000 Ghana cedis or even 100 Ghana cedis support to government to balance the books or to meet a liquidity challenge.
No, absolutely no.
And you are enforcing it to the letter.
We are enforcing it to the letter.
Because I'm asking that it could come with some shocks again for the economy, where government needs some amount of money to balance its operations.
We'll still stand our ground. We'll still stand our ground.
And that is being done.
That is being done.
Managing Director for Global Share Alliance, Aaron Edu, says the alliance and its partners have planted over 500,000 share trees across West Africa to help recover trees lost last year. Now, he said the continuous depletion of the share tree is a cause for worry, basically. Mr. Edu raised these concerns at a stakeholders forum organized in Temale by the Global Share Alliance and Action for Share Plants.
Under the project, about 10 million trees are expected to be planted in the next 10 years in West Africa and 20,000 in Ghana. Share plant is considered an important tree in northern Ghana because of its economic value. It is estimated to provide about 600,000 jobs for women in the sector, also a foreign income earner. But Mr. Edu said the tree is continuously being cut down.
We are holding this forum today to bring together all stakeholders in the share industry to talk about the issue of the declining tree population. We see that the share tree population continuously is on the decline. And so through this engagement, we are raising awareness, and then we are designing strategy through consultation to be able to find solutions to the declining share tree population. So far, we've been able to plant across West Africa a little above 500,000 share trees across West Africa, not only in Ghana. And I was stored, if I'm not mistaken, about 200 hectares of land already. The momentum is now being gathered. A lot of private sector donors, governments, and stakeholders are now, responding. And so this activity is, what helps us to maintain that momentum, so that the interest people have taken taking and storing the background keeps going instead of being stored on the way.
The director for West Africa Center for Share Innovation and Research at the UDS, Professor Abubakar Al-Hassan, on his part called for the use of alternative tree as fuel wood instead of share.
Now, what we need to do is to make sure that we protect the share tree so that we'll be able to cultivate to achieve the full benefits of the share tree. Now, in the presentation, I was talking about looking at alternative species of trees that will replace the share tree as firewood charcoal. Usually, largely the share tree is overexploited because of its high caloric value. So the need for us to look out for alternative species of trees is very important. For example, trees like this acacia that I mentioned, they are trees that are fast growing and trees that can easily be cultivated. And then the need for us to take very, very vigorous public campaign activity to change people's behavior and also actually convince people to adopt these alternative trees as alternative sources of fuel.
Some presentations were made on the topics: the economic and environmental value of share trees, the need for raising share seedlings and planting new share trees, bylaws to protect share trees and parkland, among others. For Joy Business, Martina Bugre reporting.
And that's all for business for now. I am Pius Kojo Baka. Sports is next.
Muftan Abdullah here with sports on JoyNews Today. Ghana to the Africa Games 2023, and Ghana's Minister of Youth and Sports, Mustafa Yusuf, has revealed that the competition is expected to boost the country's economy. According to him, the number of countries that are expected to join Ghana for the championship, expected to start on March 8, 2024, means that everyone coming into the country is expected to spend the Ghana cedi, and this will boost the currency.
It's not just the $145 million. What I said was that the $145 million was for the provision of those facilities that we are developing, but the University of Ghana too have their contract, which is about 30. So in all, it's about 195 million for the facilities, the game village and everything. But I could not give the actual figure about what is going to be the actual cost of the games. Until the games is completed, then we can come to the public and inform the public how much was spent. But you should understand that in some of these games, for example, in the Commonwealth Games, the British government disclosed that they spent almost £1 billion in organizing the Commonwealth Games. Ghana is not going to spend that much money, but we should know that it's a very expensive venture, and we have committed resources to it, and the country stands to also benefit enormously from organizing the games, because we are going to drive traffic to Ghana, and it will boost our tourism. We are going to have over 2.5 billion TV and online viewers, which is also good for our country. We are going to have all the 55 nations that are going to participate in the tournament, using our local banks to transfer the money for their athletes and their teams, and it's going to boost the currency, because they are all going to then be using US dollars to transfer money, which is going to boost the currency. Aside that, we are going to have foreign direct investment, because we intend to make sure that we get partners to develop hostel facilities and hotel facilities around the facilities at Batima. This is also going to be good for us. Aside that, you know better than I do that our various federations, whether swimming, whether basketball, whether athletics, whether cycling, whether fencing, they always organize continental championship, national championship, and global champion. Now we have opportunity with this facility, the aquatic center, to organize world championship of swimming. We have opportunity to do world championship for basketball, because we have huge facilities now. And it's once we do that, beyond the games, we'll be raking in revenue for the states. We will still be then given opportunity to develop more talent, because there will be facilities to be trained, so that when they represent us in international competition, whether continental or global showpiece, they will bring home glory to our nation. So, and it's also a huge opportunity for Ghanaians to get engaged. We are going to engage a lot of volunteers. People have started working because of the construction ongoing. The contractors, over 2,000 people are already engaged, working in various sites, at the sites. Aside beyond the games, people are still going to be working there, so it's going to create job opportunities for the achieving youth of our country.
This is our wrap up sports here on Joy News Today with me, Muftaru Nabila Abla. The news continues right after this with Samuel Kojobrace.
Good afternoon. Let's talk some showbiz here on Joy News Today. Now, the nominees for the 2023 Ghana Music Awards UK were unveiled over the weekend at the Labadi Beach Hotel in Accra. The event saw some performances by some of the nominees, including FBS and Episode. The nominees were announced in a variety of categories, including Best Male Artist, Best Female Artist, Best High Love Artist, Best Afrobeat Artist, Best Song of the Year, Artist of the Year, and UK-based Best Gospel Song of the Year.
Nominees are YMEA, PSA Esther, My Meditations, Diana Hamilton, Final Say, Celestine Donko, Mala, MOG Music, This Far, Irabana.
She say, why me? Now baby, say I will be your friendly. Take me on a day so you could know me. The man said, I'm in your food, yeah, man. Say no, please. Because I would give me sick color.
You were nominated for a number of categories in this year's GMA UK Awards. Which ones are you looking forward to grabbing the award for?
Can I be selfish and say all? Yeah, well, let the best man win. I'll be very honored to add one of those plugs to my collection, you know, but if we don't, then we come back harder next year. But I know that under the year of review, my song did good.